The Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Roadrunner Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from the Dignity Health Studios in downtown Bakersfield, California.
Welcome into season number 2 of Roadrunner Rundown, episode 53, which means we started all over again. Second season of the program, the official program, CSU Bakersfield Roadrunner Athletics. Corey Costello with you. Thanks so much for joining us on our second season of the program as we gear up for the 14-15 season O sport here at CSUB, and we got a lot of stuff to get to on the program today. Kind of, I guess, not really recapping the summer, but kind of wrapping up the summer a little bit because, starting next week, competitions start. Women's soccer gets action going next Friday and next Sunday. So we're basically right back into the season. And so next week's program is going to be all dedicated to the fall sports preview. But, there's some great things that happen over the summer, some student athlete experiences, also some student athletes that are moving on that we wanted to talk about. So that's what we're going to do on the program today. It's kind of it's sort of a moving on episode. It's hard to really theme it all, but we're going to be speaking in the next segment of the program with Issiah Grayson, of course, well known as the former point guard here at CSUB men's basketball. Been here for 3 seasons, played for 2, and came off a phenomenal all-conference senior season for Bakersfield, and finished so strong, finished very well that he, of course, attracted professional attention, and he has signed a professional contract with a team in Italy. He's going to be playing in Italy's Premier League, so we'll be speaking with Issiah coming up in the next segment as we talk about his career moving forward as he becomes a professional basketball player. So we'll chat with him. Also coming up in the program next, the second segment of the show. Really excited about this. Summertime for a lot of student athletes. They're either in Bakersfield, working out, doing that kind of stuff, going to summer school. A lot of them sometimes, in the case of baseball players, will get to play summer league somewhere. James Barragan this past year, current Roadrunner baseball player, formerly would go play in the summertime, play baseball, but pitched so much this past season, they decided, take some time off. But he didn't really take time off. He decided to go on a missions trip to Papua New Guinea. And we got some great stuff with James coming up we're going to talk about that. We got photos, video from his journey. Great young man. If you really haven't known James Barragan outside of the pitcher's mound, good opportunity to do so. And we'll talk with him coming up in the second segment. A great story and really a nice young man. So we'll speak with Barragan coming up in the second segment of the program. And also, our final guest on the show today isn't a member of the CSUB athletics family, so to speak, but he's kind of been like the adopted stepchild for the last 4 years or so. And that is sports anchor Mark Haas here locally at KGET TV 17, actually leaving KGET to go back to his home state of Colorado and take a job in Denver. And he's been a big friend of the Roadrunners program, hosted things like the Rowdies and special events as well, always doing, including the runners in some of his special features and funny things he did on sports as well. So we're going to chat with Mark, the final segment of the show, kind of send him off Roadrunner style, thank him for his work, and kind of talk about what it was like covering the Roadrunners for the last 4 years and change. So that's coming up on today's program. But we got a lot of news to get to. As I said, the season is gearing up. Let's head to that segment as we get into the U.S. Nationals. In the pool, we will start. Mitchell Huxell, Bakersfield's own, swimming in 4 events this past week at the U.S. Nationals. Here's how it went. He's the reigning WAC swimmer of the year and WAC male athlete of the year. He posted a couple personal best times and putting his name likely on the list for a spot in the U.S. Olympic trials. Let's check it out. Here's Thursday, last Thursday with the 1500 freestyle. Posted a personal best time, 15:32.55. Also, in the process, he set a new personal best in the 800 freestyle split with a time of 8:16.23. Finished 24 out of 60 in that swim. The times are also expected to make the U.S. Olympic trials. Those cuts will not be released until September the 15th, but expected to already be in the the U.S. Olympic trials. And Friday, he was 78th out of 91 in the 200 free, which is not his biggest event. He is a distance swimmer, but still not bad with a decent swim for Mitchell Huxhold. And then in the 400 free, he did finish in the top 40 in the nation with a time of 3:57.89 in the 400 freestyle. And then finishing up on Sunday, Huxhold once again closing out strong. Personal best time of the 800 freestyle, 8:13.53. That time put him in 21st out of 43 swimmers. And although the 800 was not a trial event, his times again in the 400 and 1500 are expected to make the Olympic trials. So congratulations to Mitchell Huxhold. A lot of pressure off if he gets those two Olympic cut times when those announced on September 15th. They'll get a chance really to kind of focus on his senior year, not too much worrying too much about the Olympic trials, which obviously is what every swimmer likes to do. So congratulations to Mitchell on a great showing at the U.S. Nationals. On to basketball. We mentioned it a few moments ago, but Issiah Grayson is a former runner point guard, continue his career professionally overseas. The recent graduate in all-conference selection is signed with Pallacanestro Trieste of Italy's A2 Gold League. Grayson led the Roadrunners in scoring last season and ended his 2-year career inside the single-season top 10 for assists during a single year. He finished out the Roadrunners campaign very strong several times throughout the season, breaking his career high 34-point performance in the semifinals in the Western Athletic Conference tournament in Las Vegas. He'll be our guest next segment of the program to talk about his new career overseas. So congratulations to Issiah Grayson. Pallacanestro Trieste, I believe it's pronounced. That's what we're going with. Northeastern Italy, Seaport Village. So that'd be kind of cool. Also, we'll chat with him coming up next on the program. On to soccer news. It's almost time for the start of men's soccer practice. Their season starts on Wednesday. Head coach Richie Grant and staff are making their final preparations for Wednesday's first practice, the first under Coach Grant as he takes over the program. And we got a chance to catch up with him prior to the season, discuss his expectations for this group.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just getting the boys into camp. It was, it was good for me to have the spring with them and just lay the foundation in terms of how we want to play. It was a heavy recruiting period for us, so really looking forward to just getting into the matches. And what's nice about the Western Athletic Conference is that we have plenty of non-conference games before we start. So I feel we'll be able to use September to kind of find out where we are before we have conference play, which we open up on national television here at home.
Talk about the makeup of this team. You've got a lot of young guys, but coming back from last year, which is a very successful team. So just talk about the makeup real quick and some of the returners along with your newcomers. Yeah,
what I'm most encouraged and excited about is just the senior class. 5 lads playing for the last time. They have a lot of experience, and they've been through conference play last year. And to lose in the semi-finals, I think the team was a little bit disappointed. So there's plenty of conference experience, and we'll be leaning heavily on the older players. And what we've added for their success in their last year is, we've added a good class, and the class has a variety of some transfers, which will bring in some. They'll bring in some experience, and then a couple of young boys that I think can help us right away.
And once again, men's soccer practice getting underway on Wednesday. So Coach Grant expecting a lot out of a group that's kind of mixed between older players and some newcomers as well. On to women's soccer. The Roadrunners opened their camp last week, starting with fitness testing as the norm, and of course basics under new head coach Gary Curneen. The Roadrunners are starting anew this season, from coaches to leadership to attitude and preparation as well. Here's our practice report from CSUB women's soccer camp. New head women's soccer coach Gary Curneen is hitting the ground running in Bakersfield, and so is his team.
We did our fitness tests yesterday, where we've given them a program for the summer, and really it's a good idea, or it's a good chance to see who's done what and what position we are. I never get too excited about it, to be honest, either watching it or we want to play a certain way, so our programs and our tests are structured to how we want to play. And it was a good chance to see which girls can come in and do that.
Curneen takes over a Roadrunners team that failed to make the Western Athletic Conference tournament last season, their first year in the league. His goals early on are simple: change the mindset of the Roadrunners.
They're working hard. I mean, they're an honest group, and I'm enjoying that side of it. I know personality-wise we've got a good group here. They're getting after it. They're working hard. But we want to, I want to get away from just working hard is good enough here. And working hard's not going to we're not going to beat Gonzaga first game of the season by working hard. We're going to beat Gonzaga in the first game of this, and we're going to have a chance of doing it if we're well organised, if we transition well, if we solve problems quickly. So I don't think soccer's about how you've got a lot of time to do these things, and you've got to do things quick. So we want to put our players in these situations, and some of them haven't trained. They're not conditioned to train that way yet, so they're having to think quickly and adapt quickly. Others are getting it a little bit quicker than others. But as a team, we've all got to get there quickly.
The Runners open with Gonzaga on October 22nd, but Curneen knows there's plenty of work to do between now and then to get the Roadrunners ready.
We'll get a little bit better every day, but we want to stress to the players that it's not a 3-month plan. They've got to hit this thing running, and every day they've got to come in. It's not just about effort, it's about producing, it's about thinking quick. And us will only get better if we do that with a lot of people.
Defense will be a major part of Bakersfield this season. With many fresh faces and student athletes signed before Curneen's arrival, he's tasked with creating a game plan to meet his group's strengths.
All right, you don't have to go win the ball. So we don't have to be a great defending team and go pressing over there and win it, and go pressing over there and win it, and go pressing over there and win it. All right, that's what Barcelona do. It's not what we're going to do.
Try and do. If we can stop teams and we can delay and we can slow teams down and we get a little bit of support behind the ball, I think we're going to be better. And there will be times when we press, but again, we're trying to condition them when we want them to do it and when we're not, and that's a lot of that there is habits, and that's what we're trying to build in the sessions as well. So it's all part of it. If we can keep them healthy and keep them working, we'll be a better team, and we might get to where we need to a lot quicker than we would otherwise.
And more about CSUB women's soccer in next week's fall sports preview edition of Roadrunner Rundown. But head coach Gary Curneen and staff starting to turn things around for the Roadrunners. Speaking of which, take a look at the soccer schedule. Here's how it's going to open up, starting with the men's soccer. They're going to be on the road at Stanford. That's going to be an exhibition game on Tuesday, August the 19th. The men's team will then be off for about 10 days, and they will open up at San Diego State. And so that is the men's soccer quick look for their couple games. They will not be at home until they open up. That's going to be on September the 13th. Now, going on to women's soccer, they will open up for real. They have no exhibitions. They'll go straight into August 22nd. They will take on Gonzaga at the main soccer field. 7 o'clock. That's a Friday night. Next Friday night, as a matter of fact, Bakersfield and Gonzaga. And then they will turn around the following, kind of an Eastern Washington comes to Bakersfield tour, as Eastern Washington University also coming to CSUB. That's going to be Sunday, August 24th at 3 p.m. as well. So those are the first two games for the regular season, as it'll be women's soccer opening up on the regular season next Friday night. More to come again on next week's edition of special fall sports preview. We'll talk some soccer, men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball with Giovanna Mello and her student athletes. They got practice underway as well. Also, Marcia Manser-Wentworth, director of track and cross country, as the cross country team gets underway too. So we got a lot of fall sports to get to on a special edition of the program next week. We're to step away and take a break. When we come back, we will speak with Issiah Grayson. He is a former student athlete with Bakersfield, about ready to become a professional ball player in Italy. We'll talk hoops with Issiah Grayson next. Stick around. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Hey everybody, I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Baco Motorsports Power Hour here on Bakersfield.com. You can watch us live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock as we talk about things going on at Auto Club Formosa Raceway, at Kern County Raceway Park, and of course the historic Bakersfield Speedway. We'll have results, we'll have interviews with drivers, we'll have updates on Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears on NASCAR. Also talk about NHRA, IndyCar, Formula One. Also be joined by Mike Griffith in studio every day.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit kernbusinessjournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on kernbusinessjournal.com.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown as we continue on the program, kind of, recapping the summer a little bit and kind of going through some of the storylines from the summer as some student athletes move on. And then, of course, getting ready for the new season, which will start next week of sport as women's soccer gets underway. And we'll have a big fall sports preview edition of the program next week. But you know what? One of the young men that is going to be moving on past Bakersfield on to bigger and better things is Issiah Grayson, point guard for CSUB Roadrunner basketball the last couple seasons. And now about to become a professional with Palincanestro Trieste. Did I say that right? Do you even know?
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Palincanestro Trieste, Italy, which is northeastern, kind of a seaport town, in the A2 Gold League, which is apparently top league in Italy, right?
One of the top, yes.
Absolutely. And so Issiah is going to be a professional and has signed with them and getting ready to take off in about a week or so to head out to Italy. First of all, you've been working on an overseas deal since really you ended playing at CSUB. So how'd this kind of come about?
Well, all the deals I received, I talked to my family, I talked to my agent and Coach Barnes. So we just felt like this was the right move for me. And it's going to give me a lot of exposure, it being my first year. And I just want to thank God for the opportunity. It was a long wait.
Yeah, and you were finishing up school and things like that, and obviously training throughout the summer. So it wasn't just like they signed you and you took off. I mean, you had to do a little waiting and you had to do a little work as well. So what'd you kind of do in the meantime before, to get ready for this?
Well, after I graduated, I took a week off basketball just to clear my mind and my body because it was a stressful season and it was a stressful process of picking an agent and picking a basketball team. So after that first week, I just stayed in the gym and then I just stayed talking to my family and my coaches because you never know when that call's going to come and you never know when they're going to tell you, all right, pack your stuff up. We flying you out here right now.
Yeah.
So I had to stay ready.
And you had I know you had a lot of prospects because you had such a strong senior season, and then you ended it the way you ended it with such a strong showing at the WAC tournament. I mean, you had quite a few prospects and opportunities because of the way you played this year.
Yeah, I did all right. I want to thank my coaches and my teammates because without them, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't be in the situation I am right now. So I just want to thank them.
You even had like a little bit of you had some NBA looks or something, didn't you? Some contact with the NBA?
Yeah, I did, but, stuff don't work out how it's planned.
Sure.
But I'm going to go overseas and I'm going to do my thing regardless, and hopefully I get another league look.
Absolutely. Issiah Grayson, our guest on Roadrunner Rundown, a former Roadrunner point guard, now professional in Italy. What are you expecting about playing overseas? What kind of expectations do you have?
Well, I first want to go overseas and learn a different culture because I know I'm going to be culture shocked. And like you said, I want to go tour, see what Italy has to offer for me. and I just want to win, and I just hope my teammates want to win, because I heard overseas they just be worrying about the players from overseas, they just be worrying about their next check, and they don't be caring about winning. But I just want to win, and I just want to have a successful season so I can move on to bigger and better things.
What have you heard about the game, in Italy, maybe the differences over there is how it's played, that kind of stuff? And have you heard anything?
Well, I heard that certain steps are travel over here. Like, if I catch the ball and I step with my right foot and I bounce it, they said that's a travel.
Oh, okay.
They said overseas they do the crossover step, where you step through.
Sure.
So I'm sure they're gonna teach me some more stuff. And I know once the ball hits the rim, you can slap it off the rim.
Right.
You can goaltend. So I'm not that tall and I don't have bounce like that. So I don't have to worry about that. So
right.
I'm just ready for
you might get a couple points maybe taken away as it's bouncing on the rim instead of trickling in. Someone's gonna swat it off.
So if I make a shot, if I miss a shot or I miss a layup, or attempting a layup, I'm going down there. I'm just going to push the bigs out the way so they won't touch my basketball.
There you go. Issiah Grayson here on Roadrunner Rundown. What's going to be the most difficult part about playing in Italy? I mean, obviously it's a whole other country and different culture, but are you have any things you might realize might be difficult, homesickness, that kind of stuff?
Well, I've been away from home since I was 16, traveling.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to Vegas in high school, and I went to VCU, and I went to Idaho. Now I'm in Bakersfield. So homesickness is not really going to be tough. The only thing that's going to be tough is missing family and friends. Yeah. Like, Bakersfield treated me so well. I'm going to miss Bakersfield. So whenever I do come back, this is probably going to be the first place or the second place I do come back, because y'all show people so much love. And just my family. Just my family and my nephews. I couldn't even get a chance to see my nephews grow up because I've been so gone. But that's about it. Just missing all.
How's your my first thought was, man, IG's going to play in Italy. How's his mom going to follow? Because she would listen to all the radio broadcasts here.
Emailing.
She listen in Italian on the internet. I mean, how's that going to work? She better learn Italian real quick. She knows what's going on.
She better get her some Rosetta Stone. But I think they broadcast our game. So once I get over there, I'm going to get all the information. I'm going to send everybody who wants to watch it the link so they can watch me play.
Absolutely, yeah. And probably, I mean, it's so funny. It's just the support you got from home, even though you haven't been at home for a long time. I mean, that obviously must have been difficult, but it seems like you still have a great structure. Your mom's your biggest fan, so I mean that's got to mean a lot.
Love her, yeah. She is my biggest. She's crazy. She was down in Fresno. So she's a diehard.
Believe me, the people in Fresno knew that Sparkle was in the audience. That's for sure. Issiah Grayson joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. What are you most looking forward to? I mean, obviously you've got some trepidations and some worries, but what are you most looking forward to about this opportunity to play as a pro and get paid to play basketball?
Well, first thing I'm looking forward to is meeting the team and getting to work. Because I like to get in and I like to work and just meet new people. Second thing is getting paid for it. You feel me? I can finally take care of my mom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my first year contract. I mean, it's not no KD or LeBron contract, but I'll be able to have some of my own money to take care of people that I love. So. And the third thing is I just want to win.
Yeah.
I just want to win.
Absolutely.
That's what it all comes down to.
Absolutely. Northeastern Italy seems like a beautiful place. I was looking up some of the pictures. I mean, and we talk about this off air, but I mean, and I try to say this to anyone who goes overseas to play, like just take the opportunity just to soak it in. I mean, I know you get caught in the basketball grind, you get caught in the work grind, but I mean, really, very few people get an opportunity to even travel abroad, let alone live abroad. So, I mean, you're going to try to take as much advantage of that as possible?
Yes, I'm going to get together with either some of the Italian players or some of the American players, because I know that you can only have two. And I'm just going to tell them, like, yo, let's go. Show me around.
Yeah.
Like, show me what's some sightseeing or something.
Yeah.
Show me some landmarks. Because I've never been to Italy. The only place I traveled was the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing time down there. So Italy is a whole different type of ball game going all the way over there.
I know meals are big events. I mean, it's not like, we think of a meal, you're in and out in like 45 minutes, you go to a restaurant. This is like an hour. This is hours are spent eating dinner and things like that. So
I'm gonna come back hefty. I'm gonna come back brolic.
Well, like, man, he left a point guard. He came back a small forward.
Brandon Barnes.
Issiah Grayson here on Roadrunner Rundown. What about this franchise? This Palacanestro Triste. What have you learned about them a little bit? You know what they're all about?
Well, I haven't really learned about them. I just looked at the roster because I mean you can always have a better season. Because because I really don't know if they had a good season or not. I know they had a couple of runs, and I'm just going there to try to help them win even more. So.
Yeah. Awesome. And you've been around this program for 3 years here in Bakersfield, played 2, earned your degree. What will you take away from Bakersfield that is going to help you in the future?
That degree. I mean, that's one thing I could really take with me. Not a lot of people say they got a degree. And just the love. Y'all showed me so much love for being out of state. I felt like I was from Bakersfield, the love I was receiving. And
is that what makes you want to come? Because we hear people all the time, they say, when we throw the stat out that X amount of our student athletes stay in Bakersfield, return to Bakersfield. I mean, could you see yourself in the future? Obviously, your career is done. You want to coach, something like that. I mean, would Bakersfield be a destination for you to come back?
Yeah, I really do like Bakersfield. I wouldn't see myself making a family and living here. You feel me? I really like California. I like Los Angeles and San Diego and Sacramento. But I could see myself coming back up under Coach Barnes if he's still here to coach and stuff like that, because Bakersfield's grown.
Yeah.
When I first came out here, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was miserable. It was hot, nothing to do. But every year it just got better and better and better, and I met better and better people, and they just broadened my horizon, and I really do like Bakersfield.
Absolutely. You know, you're a kid from Atlanta going to play basketball in Europe as a professional. Has that hit you yet? That whole journey, has that hit you yet?
Little kid from Atlanta going to play Italy. It hasn't hit me. It hit me a little bit when I signed my agent and I signed my contract. But once he give me that call and be like, yo, Issiah, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And I pack up all my stuff and I walk out the door, then I'm going to feel it like, oh.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Italy by myself.
By yourself, exactly. That part as well. But you're getting paid as a professional, so anytime you can do that. And you brought up the fact that you have the degree. I mean, does that take a little pressure off? I mean, for you, it's not like basketball. It's not make or break. You know, at this point for you, I mean, basketball is almost like an added bonus. You've got the degree, so you've got some security. Does it help that you have the degree, and so now basketball for you right now isn't life or death?
Yeah, basketball is. I only can bounce a basketball for so long. So with this degree, I can become a coach, something I really want to do, and just open up so many doors for me. You feel me? So like I said, I only can bounce a basketball for X amount of minutes and X amount of time. So this degree really, really helped me, and it took a lot of pressure off of me because I had Coach Khan on my head since I got here. I had Coach Barnes on my head about graduating. I didn't see myself graduating.
Yeah.
But they pushed me, and they made me like school and study hall, and I'm really appreciative.
I'm telling you, all of our coaches, but especially on the men's basketball side, there's a reason why historically their graduation rates, wherever they've been, have been high. They hound you guys non-stop.
Hound dog. I'm talking about like a bloodhound. If you at Chick-fil-A eating lunch and you supposed to be in study hall, he gonna find some way to find you on GPS location or something. There's no hiding if you're missing out on school. No hiding.
Exactly. Well, that's what makes him so good. Well, hey, Issiah, congratulations, man. I'm really happy for you. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go for you in Italy, and good luck. And we'll definitely be keeping tabs and staying in touch.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Issiah Grayson here on Roadrunner Rundown. Stick around. We'll chat with James Barragan next. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Buying a home is one of the most important decisions you can make. Scott Tobias Real Estate is here for you. Allow our seasoned and professional associates guide you through every step of the way. Scott Tobias Real Estate is a full-service real estate company providing expert assistance in residential and commercial real estate. The real estate business has changed in many ways over the years, but the desire for excellent customer service is still very much in demand. Our objective is not to be the biggest, but to offer the best real estate services. We're open 7 days a week.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7? The Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Kern Business Journal contains news and information from local business leaders and organizations. Topics include agriculture, health and medical, energy, real estate, and more. Visit KernBusinessJournal.com to find out how to subscribe or where to pick up a free copy. To inquire about advertising in the bi-monthly business journal, call 395-7586. Find us online on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on KernBusinessJournal.com.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
We welcome you back to Roadrunner Rundown. My thanks to Issiah Grayson for joining us. Palicanisto Triste, I believe I said that right. One of these, I'm going to get corrected eventually. But playing pro ball in Italy, leaving very soon, so congratulations to him. And, a lot of student athletes, summertime means, maybe it means they're going to be around going to summer school, working out. A lot of baseball players will play summer league ball, but some people just hang out. Well, some people, like our next guests, decide to, serve others and go and spend 6 weeks in the jungles of New Guinea, and that is exactly what happened with James Barragan, CSUB pitcher. He joined us on the program now, fresh off of 6 weeks in Papua New Guinea. First of all, welcome back, and welcome to the program. How you doing?
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
Well, first of all, you're working with this New Tribes Mission 2014, Papua New Guinea. Now, this group targets eventually unreached tribes in across the world, in New Guinea especially. So basically, they're training young missionaries to go into places like New Guinea. So how'd you get involved with this group?
Long story short, I took a global Christianity class last fall. New Tribes was talked about a lot. And so one of their missionaries came and spoke at the class, and I got to talking with him, and he introduced me to Interface, which is a program I went with. It's basically like a college level course on missions and missionary work where you do like hands-on training. And so that was my first introduction to it, and then just signed up, and they accepted me.
I was going to say, normally you play baseball in the summer. This year you threw so many innings that obviously you didn't have a summer team, so you had the summer off. So you elected, instead of saying, I'm going to recover and hang out and go you said, I'm gonna go do this. I mean, what was kind of the decision-making process for you to say, I'm going to dedicate 6 weeks to go into, the jungle, basically?
Yeah, I feel like this was a great opportunity for me. I had an open summer. Thankfully, I threw enough innings in the spring to be able to do this. I really feel like as a Christian, it's our obligation to take the gospel to people who never heard about Jesus. And so I think this was a great opportunity for me to learn how to do that. And so, all the doors kind of opened up, and I was able to do that. I didn't take a complete break from baseball. I brought my bands with me, hooked them up to a fence, and I would work out every morning before everyone else woke up. Yeah.
Awesome. And what was the experience like, not only to be traveling in a foreign land, but, I saw some of the pictures and stuff. You had some pretty rough traveling to get there. This wasn't, we're not talking first class. You guys had this was a journey.
It took about, I think it was the day we got there, we had traveled 26 hours total.
Wow.
To get over there. The time difference is 17 hours, so there was a lot of jet lag when we got there. The airports are small. The plane rides were bumpy. But it was just a great experience altogether. within the first day or two, I felt like I knew that group. We was a
Mm-hmm.
group of 27 college-age kids. I felt like I knew them really well because of all the traveling we went through together, and it was just a good experience.
What was kind of your first moments of exposure like? I mean, we're seeing some of the images and stuff on the screen, and I mean, this is an entirely different culture. What was it kind of first like for you? Going through your mind.
Man, some things that were different. They do not dress the same as we do over here at all. Ladies, they wear like baggy pants, shirts that cover their bottom. The guys, they wear pretty much what we wear, but a little bit more run down. Everything smells different there. It smells like a combination of fire and body odor, kind of.
Right.
And so things like that. Cultural differences, like guys and girls would never hold hands, but guys and guys would hold hands, and it was completely normal. And it was and so a guy one time came up and held my hand while he was like walking me around the village, and it kind of caught me by surprise a little bit, but then I realized this is how they treat their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what did you expect and going into this situation, and did this meet the expectations? Did it exceed them? Did it change your expectations as well?
Yeah. I was expecting just to learn about what God's doing over there through new tribes, how they spread the gospel more, and how they just basically how they do it. And it exceeded my expectations. I was blown away by how powerful God is, and how powerful the Word of God is, and how the people there have no reason to believe this gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They've grown up in this animistic belief system all their life, and then they hear the message, and everything that they used to believe is replaced. And absolutely blew my mind that's how powerful our God is. And so that was probably the biggest thing that I learned.
Nice. James Barragan joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. They spent 6 weeks in Papua New Guinea over the summer. You talk a little bit about baseball. Obviously, you brought your workout bands and stuff. Did anyone did you ever get a chance to talk about what you do? Talk about the sport? I mean, obviously it's foreign concept to them.
Yeah. So over there they know rugby, they know soccer, and they know a little bit of cricket.
Right.
And so they would ask me what I did, and they can kind of tell I play a sport. I tell them I play baseball. And guys don't play baseball there. If they know anything, they know softball.
Sure.
So that's a girl sport.
Okay.
And so I had to explain to them that in America, that's our thing. We play baseball. And so it was fun I'll throw a ball around with some of the kids sometimes, and just have some fun, introducing American culture to a little bit of American culture with them. Yeah.
Awesome. And we obviously the deep down root of all this, I mean, religious young man, student athlete. Is it tough in a secular school like CSUB, or do you feel like you are one of many and not one of a few?
I think I am one of a few. Probably, but the few is probably more than most people think.
Yeah.
Is it tough? It has its challenges, but I love it. I love being on a team where not everyone's a believer, not everyone's a Christian. Being at a school where not everyone's a Christian, it gives me opportunities to share Jesus Christ with those and love on people in a way that they probably haven't experienced before, and really express that to them.
Here's the most ringing endorsement I've ever heard about this. Tyler Shryock, a former Roadrunner, and of course, very Christian young man. He had said before about Coach Curneen, who, he said, here's what I love about Coach Curneen. He said, we have a lot of, young men on the team that are Christians. He treats us the same as anybody else. Yep. He's going to yell at us the same. He might swear at us the same.
Yep.
He's not going to say, "Oh, they're in the room. I need to tell." He said,
no.
I mean, is that the same thing for you?
Oh yeah, Curneen doesn't put up any filters for anybody. You know, he treats us the same. I actually enjoy that. I don't want to be treated differently.
Sure.
I want to be one of the guys. I am one of the guys.
Yeah.
And so I respect that about him. He is who he is all the time.
I will say this about the team though. I mean, baseball teams a lot of the time historically aren't known for being the most religious on a campus, but CSUB, I mean, you guys have had a pretty. I mean, I look back at some of the guys, a good support structure, I guess, and a lot of guys on a team that are that are believers.
Yeah, that's something that probably within the last couple years, I started to notice a lot. Tyler Shryock, Taylor Aikenhead, Chance Guspeth, Austin Davis, became a believer last year.
Yeah.
Oscar Sinai toward the end of this year. All these guys are just coming out and really embracing Christian truth, and it's been awesome to see. It's very exciting to see at secular university for that to happen on a baseball team that is very influential in the community.
Absolutely. And you also, I know, just the other night you've been preaching a little bit recently. I know the other night you were preaching. How'd that go?
It went great. I got the opportunity to preach on John 10 verse 16 this past Sunday night at my church. And felt kind of different because I'm young, and most of the people in the congregation, especially at night services, are older. Yeah. They probably know more than me, but I had a very positive experience with that, sharing what God's shown me within the past year and a half.
Absolutely. What did this trip do for you from just a world vision standpoint? I mean, I always tell people that college is important because college is the time when you really get a chance to develop your worldview.
Right.
And so you got a chance to see a chunk of the world and a part that most people don't see. So how did that kind of shape your worldview a little bit?
It made me feel a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It made the world look a lot bigger. And as a result of that, I saw God a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And that's really the biggest thing I learned is that I'm really small.
Yeah.
We go into a context where they don't even care that you're American. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was so eye-opening to me. I think that in America we tend to think that the world is all about us.
Right.
And then I go to the other side of the world where, God's working in their lives as well.
Yeah.
And it's such a eye-opening thing to experience,
I mean, I even had some in a much smaller scale late years in high school. And you don't even have to go very far. I mean, we just went to, we were just in Mexico down and not that far south, but Chiapas, Mexico, where you have kids running around and they're like, oh, let me show you my house, and this kid pulls me to his house, and you walk in and I'm walking down into a dirt floor, and I'm walking into a corner where there's the kitchen in the corner and there's the bed over there, and mom's in there working, and I'm meeting this family, and it's just like, that to them was, that's their life.
It's normal, yeah.
And you go back home and you're like, man, I got all this stuff, and I mean, it really makes
huge houses, and one of their houses is the size of my room,
right?
And it fits a whole family in there, and that was definitely humbling as well.
Yeah, absolutely. James Barragan here on Roadrunner Rundown. Is this a we're talking about the the mission stuff and the and the preaching? Is this a future for you maybe outside of baseball? I mean, when the career's over, is ministry maybe in your future? Are you still kind of working with that?
Yeah, I think ministry is definitely my future. Where and what capacity, I'm not really sure yet.
Yeah.
Kind of working through that. Right now, I'm focusing on what I have in front of me.
Sure.
So right now, what I have in front of me is being the best baseball player I can be right now for Cal State Bakersfield, leading my teammates, and in Christianity and truth, and also on the field. And so that's what I have in front of me right now.
Yeah.
That's my ministry right now. And so that's really what I want to focus on. I think too often I get caught up in the future. And
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, senior year coming up, right?
Yes.
Man, where'd the time go?
Yes.
I remember we were this big. No, not really. But well, good luck with that, man. And I know you're getting back into the baseball swing of things in school as well. So great stuff this summer, and we'll be keeping up with you here as your season gets underway.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, James Barragan here on Roadrunner Rundown. When we come back, Mark Haas is leaving us from Bakersfield, a KGET news anchor or a sports anchor, and friend of the program. We're going to send him off Roadrunner style. We'll be joined by Mark next. Stick around. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
Hey everybody, I'm Louis Amestoy, the host of the Baco Motorsports Power Hour here on Bakersfield.com. You can watch us live every Tuesday at 11 o'clock as we talk about things going on at Auto Club Formosa Raceway, at Kern County Raceway Park, and of course the historic Bakersfield Speedway. We'll have results, we'll have interviews with drivers, we'll have updates on Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears on NASCAR. Also talk about NHRA, IndyCar, Formula One. Also be joined by Mike Griffith in studio every day.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield, Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes. We're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
And welcome back into Roadrunner Rundown, first episode of season number 2. Thanks so much for joining us. And, well, we got through 52 episodes into 53, so obviously we're doing something right. But my thanks to James Barragan for joining us in the last segment, and also Issiah Grayson as well. Both those young men with the great stories to share. Barragan recently in New Guinea, and Issiah Grayson now heading off to Italy to play professional basketball. So I guess there was a common theme of foreign lands, and our next guest is going to Colorado, which, I don't know, from California could be considered a foreign land. But he's from Colorado, and he's been a big supporter of the program the last 4 years, and that's Mark Haas, formerly of KGET TV 17, and now where are you going? Where's
going to the CBS affiliate in Denver, and wow,
okay.
We can say formerly of KGET.
Formerly
now.
of KGET.
Yeah.
Now it hits you, doesn't it?
That was weird. Yeah, former KGET.
Did they make you
sports
turn
anchor.
your keys in and stuff yet?
Oh, like my last day, I turned in the ID badge. They shut me out of the system.
Yeah,
it's like,
it really does.
Thanks for stopping by. But we'll see you later.
Yeah, you get that finality. Your email gets shut off, and you're like, man, this sucks. You feel like you're kind of wandering in the wilderness. But so going to the CBS affiliate in Denver, obviously, you know, talk a little bit about just the reasoning there. I mean, you were here in Bakersfield for 4 years, but now a chance to kind of go back home.
I was thinking about it on the way in. I mean, we've seen it with some coaches recently.
Yeah.
You know, leaving for what they considered, you know, better opportunities. And for me, like, I loved it here in Bakersfield, and I bought a house a year ago. I thought I was going to be here a while, and there was really only a small handful of places that I wanted to see my career get to.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a couple of years away.
Yeah.
Denver's a pretty big television market.
It is very, yes.
Not to pat myself on the back, but I mean, I thought that I could get there maybe when I was 35, 40, you know, kind of.
One more stop in between.
Maybe do a
here
stop
and
between, or at least, you know, have some more years behind me before they'd want me. But sent them a resume tape when I got back from my vacation, and they liked some of the stuff I've been doing here, and they liked me being from Colorado, and it's a station I actually interned at 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
A lot of the same people still there.
Nice.
And my family's from Colorado, and so a chance to get back there, be close to them. My mom will watch every single night, I'm pretty sure. She's probably watching right now.
Great. So what? So you're gonna do weekend sports?
Anything else? Weekend sports anchor, and then you know.
Which, by the way, there's lots going on the weekend in Denver.
They have some stuff.
They have a few
to
things
cover,
happening.
and then, you know, Denver Broncos coverage throughout the week. And,
not too shabby.
The sports department there compared to what I have here, like, I basically did everything for KGT, which I loved. Like, I mean, I like shooting, I like editing.
Yeah.
I'm not even allowed to in Denver. Like,
isn't that crazy?
They have like union rules
Yes.
where, like, so they have photographers and editors, and so like my first few days, I'm gonna be like,
I interned.
Can I help? Can I help?
I interned at the CBS affiliate in San Diego in college, And it was like that. I mean, you had the photographers were the photographers, and then when I started working in the media here and I saw TV guys, you guys are showing up, you got your camera, the microphone, you're doing it all, you're editing your own packages, and I'm like, that was foreign to me because I was used to seeing the union folks and you didn't touch it.
So it's going to be the opposite for me, because now I'm going to have to learn, how to work nicely with others. Here I just got to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Or you're going to do all this time on your hands now, you're not going to be editing yourself all the time.
Yeah, so I guess I can just actually get better at being a reporter, not have to worry about all the little details.
There you go, Mark Haas here on Roadrunner Rundown. You spent the last 4 years covering all Bakersfield sports, but working with the Roadrunners quite a bit. Last few years especially, helping us out with special events and stuff like that. It's going to be a little bit different because Denver's not really – you do have, Colorado, University of Colorado State, but still it's more of a pro sports town. I mean, are you kind of – so you're not going to really be doing the regular, coverage of a college like you were here at CSUB.
I mean, they have Colorado, the Buffaloes, and then another CSU, Colorado State, which is when I got here, hearing you guys be like CSU, I'm like, no, it's Colorado State. That's where I grew up, Fort Collins. But yeah, I mean, Denver Broncos dominate year-round, even during the off season. And then, I mean, on Saturdays you talk about the college. And my station actually doesn't really cover high school sports because Denver's so big. I was talking to them about it, and you cover like a couple, and that just makes everybody else mad. So they've had to make the decision, like, that's not going to be our niche. So I think I'm going to miss that about Bakersfield, though, is kind of the small community feel.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure I'll get plugged into the Denver community, but in terms of, I'm going to show up at CSUB and wander in and wander through the office and do whatever I need, and
exactly.
Everyone knows my name, and so I'm gonna miss that about Bakersfield and kind of I liked the small market, not small. I liked the medium-sized market and the community feel we have here and the fun that we can have.
What were some of the highlights, I guess, from the Roadrunner standpoint? Some of the stories you enjoyed covering, over the last 4 years.
I was thinking back the NCAA tournament game for men's soccer, which the runners should have won.
Yeah,
I remember filming that game and being like, I just remember having that feeling though, like they're not going to be able to get a goal in. Like, they are such a better team than St. Mary's, right?
Right, yeah.
I was like, but it was just one of those games.
And 3,000 people just show up out of the blue to pack the place.
But I just remember having that feeling like, oh, they're a better team. But it's because they would have those games from time to time where they just couldn't put one in.
They're the best player in the nation,
And so I wish they could have made a little bit more of a run.
Right.
Baseball was always fun to cover. You know how my feelings on Bill Curneen and how entertaining of an interview he is, because he lets you know what he thinks.
Yeah.
And that was always fun. And all the sports, and like I was talking about, just kind of the community feel. I mean, everybody was always so appreciative of our coverage and really formed relationships with the coaches and the players, and would have liked to have seen a WAC championship. Would have liked to have seen some more tournament runs, but it's coming.
Well, eventually. I mean, like we'll. I'm sure you can cover us like in the NCAA tournament when we're playing like in a Colorado regional or something.
When you come as a 14 seed to take on Duke in the Denver regional.
Exactly. We will be there for that. Mark Haas joining us here on Roadrunner Rundown. What the funny thing is, I was thinking back to we had you were host of the Rowdies, and I want to do this, by the way. This is one of our Rowdies. It's always on the table. But Mark was a 3-year host of the Rowdies. So we are now presenting you as a memento, so you never forget us, a mini Rowdy. All right? Make sure this is on your desk in Denver, please. I know you're big into trinkets and bobbleheads and stuff. So please do not please make sure that is displayed.
Which camera?
Either one. It doesn't matter. Just
I got my playoff beard going.
I know. I like that, the moving beard. But yes, please make sure. So when people ask you what that is, you can explain the Rowdies and your hosting duties at the Rowdies as well over the years. So there you go.
You.
Mini Rowdy.
Before I forget, and so I don't get hounded later, super fan. It's been fun. He's a riot, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I knew he wanted you to spend time on him, like during your KGET broadcast. So this is the perfect time you can ode to Superfan on the show now.
Superfan, it's been real. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, there you go.
He's fun.
There's a chance, and there's a chance he could transfer out to Colorado.
I hope that CU has a super fan.
I'm sure they definitely have.
I know the Broncos. Several. Well, they used to have Barrel Man, but he passed away.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure you'll find if there's a mascot or a person that's slightly just over the top. You'll probably locate them.
I'll find them.
There's a way that you just attract those people somehow.
I will miss Rowdy. Rowdy and I had a special thing going.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely, you were big into the mascots and helpful with that.
We
so,
shared an on-camera hug once.
Yeah.
And I've used it many times.
That and of course, with your Marks Madness as well, using Rowdy to help pick games and things like that. So.
And do you remember when I did the WAC women's basketball preseason rankings?
Still to this day.
Based on the mascots.
We still to this day, it was WAC women's basketball preseason ranking. And really, the thing is, nobody knew. That poll came out, and I looked at it and go, I don't know. Like, I didn't know. It was our first year in the conference. Nobody knew women's basketball and the WAC yet, other than, okay, Idaho was really good. We all knew that. Yeah. Seattle was going to be okay. We knew that. And so nobody knew. I mean, look how the season finished out. I mean, Idaho wins it, and the runners who were picked 6th finished second.
Yeah.
And so
Mark, I actually looked smart by putting them up at the top.
Yes, Mark went with the mascots, and it worked out okay. Really, you weren't that far off. But some people who covered women's basketball seriously in the Western Athletic Conference were kind of burned by it.
The WAC liked it, though. They told me they enjoyed the humor.
The conference thought it was great. Some people taking themselves a little too seriously didn't. But the funny thing is, I think your poll was probably closer than theirs.
Probably.
And yeah,
just by luck.
Rowdy did win out, and I think you had like Idaho second, probably, right? The Vandal.
I had Joe Vandal, I think, in like 3rd or 4th, because he's a pretty cool mascot.
Yeah. And you know, that thing.
I had Seattle up near the top because I liked the Red Hawk.
Exactly. So you were really close, actually. You had New Mexico State near the bottom, and then Pistol Pete because of the people who got angry about the poll. And guess what? They finished pretty close to the bottom in women's basketball.
Pistol Pete kind of creeped me out. So
he does. You know, I think there's actually a WAC, like there's a contest, a mascot contest going on online right now, and of the printed logos, and like their Pistol Pete on the logo is okay looking, but then they get some 12-year-old who puts on a mustache in the games and with chaps.
Yeah, that was the one that I focused on, that
off.
I used in my rankings because he was
I'm
sure they love him in New Mexico.
It'd be better if the guy get a kid who can grow a mustache.
Yeah.
Don't put the phony Burt Reynolds one on him.
Yeah, get like a guy who can grow like a really good mustache, and I'm sure people would have fun with that. So.
Yeah, I want someone who looks like they could punch me in the face, and I would respect it more. All right, Mark. Well, hey, congratulations on your new gig. Thanks so much for all you did at CSUB, with us the last few years, and good luck.
Thank you for making me feel so at home here in Bakersfield for my 4 years. It's been a blast. And,
awesome.
Maybe I'll come back and host the Rowdies.
Yeah,
Just
there
kidding.
you go.
No.
There you go. We now need a new Rowdies host. Thanks very much.
Jordan was very upset about that. So.
All right, we got to run, folks. Thanks so much to Mark Haas for joining us. James Barragan, Issiah Grayson as well. Get this show anytime online at GoRunners.com. Archive editions of the program as well. Next week, fall sports preview. We're talking about them all. We'll catch you then. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.